No. Okay. Good evening and welcome to the Select Board meeting for the town of Limington for June 6, 2024. We will begin the meeting at 7 p.m. and we will begin with the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And we need an approval of the meeting minutes for May 30th, 2024.
I'll make a motion that we approve the meeting minutes for May 30th, 2024.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none. All those in favor? Motion carries. Approval of the warrants for week 23, payroll warrant number 52 for $27,572.98, and an appropriations warrant, we have two of them, 53 and 54, for the amount of $77,041.95. The totals for warrant 52, 53, and 54 is $104,614.93.
I'll make a motion to accept warrant 52, 53, and 54.
I will second that.
We have a motion and a second for discussion. A couple of items that are coming out of the appropriations warrant. The WEX fuel account for $2,368.69. Dog licensing, $90. Inland fisheries and wildlife, $12,090.51. Maine drinking water program, $105. Spectrum Internet, $1,512.19. Sleepers Market Ace Hardware, $1,167.06. Medical reimbursement services, $1,748.24. David Lonsby Animal Control mileage, $413.39. EcoMaine Recycling, $311.85. FirstNet cell phones for Public Works, $96.16. FirstNet for Fire and EMS, $394.14. Bureau of Motor Vehicles, $18,477.86. And Mellon & Sons Disposal, $25,000. That's our curbside pickup. So we have a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
No, just to let people know that these are recurring payments and they don't require a purchase order. They're monthly bills that are normally paid, and we've been pleased to just throw them out there so that people know what they're getting out of the total warrant dollars.
Yes, thank you, Tammy. All those in favor? Motion carries. Purchase order request. Jason, do you want to run us through those?
Municipal purchase order request to pay Mark's Heating and Cooling Service for the call of no heat, $650.
I'll make a motion to approve the municipal purchase order request.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Parks and Rec, request to pay L.P. Murray for loam and gravel for the Old Town Hall, $506. Request to pay Cody Woodcraft for the final payment of work completed, $1,302.50. A request to pay MB Tractor and Equipment for the Momodeo landscape equipment, $1,056.16. And a request to pay Sleepers Market Ace Hardware for hardware and staples, $20.99. And a request to pay Sleepers Market for pizza for beach cleanup day, $181.44.
I will make a motion to approve the Parks and Rec purchase order requests.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Fire and EMS, a request to pay Bound Tree for medical supplies, $519.86. A request to pay Amazon for multi-gas meters and charging cords, $164. A request to pay Rich Patanod for a fire and EMS exam event, $460.96. A request to pay Sleepers Market for lunch for the training burn, $136.64. A request to pay Sleepers Market for key batteries and sugar, $80.21. A request to pay Sleepers Market for AAA batteries, $18.99. A request to pay Sleepers Market for a sink drain trap assembly, $25.99. And a request to pay York County Firefighters Association for 23 firefighter member renewals. They're $2 a piece, so it's $46.
I will make a motion to approve the fire and EMS purchase order requests.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Motion carries.
Code Enforcement, a request to pay the town of Winthrop for erosion and sediment control class that Craig took, $25.
I will make a motion to approve the code enforcement purchase order request.
I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Public Works, a request to pay Goodyear for commercial tire, $778.70. A request to pay Goodyear commercial tire for wheel nut indicators, $128. A request to pay Granger for a chain sharpener tool, $203. A request to pay Napa Auto Parts for shoe kit and drums, $593.86. A request to pay Napa Auto Parts for Traction Eagle Grip Brake Shoe Kit, $138.26. And a request to pay Napa for oil, air filter, cabin air filter, oil filter, and fleet brake and rotor kit, $625.28.
I will make a motion to approve the Public Works Department purchase order requests.
And I'll second that.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? On to weekly updates. First, we'd like to send a thank you to Old Wells Farm for donating some plants to Moimo Deo. They're going quite a long distance in beautifying the beach and providing a much more inviting atmosphere. Some plants that were donated, we got some lavender, I believe we got some hostas. I'm not an expert on plants, so unfortunately I can't name off all the ones we got, but it was greatly appreciated, and we do thank you, Old Wells Farm. From the Public Works Department, they notify us that there is a new culvert on Boothby Road, and Boothby Road has been paved. They are working on sections of Dole's Ridge Road, repairing shoulders and small areas of the pavement. They've inspected, and the culverts in need of repairs on Shaving Hill. They're going to have those repaired or replaced before road paving begins there. Hardscrabble Road will be inspected for culvert damages or replacements this coming week. South Road shoulders and drainage issues should be completed Friday. And while they're working on South Road, they're going to cut damage area of pavement at the intersection and have a more permanent repair done. There were a few trees on Manson Way that were causing trouble, so they worked along that road, removing the limbs and the leaning trees. They've trimmed along the intersections of 117 and Christian Hill to try and help with visibility. And they will be working on a plan to keep the vegetation at a minimum throughout the season. Truck 14 has been returned to service. This truck had an electrical problem that was causing the ECM to lose power and a no start condition. Engine 2 was checked and repaired for the fire department as the pump temp warning kept going off. So they replaced a few discharge gauges as well. Truck was checked over, greased, returned to service. And that's about it for the Public Works Department. Tammy, would you like to run us through the Parks and Rec Department?
Sure. The weekly report from 5/27 to 6/1. The weekly programs are before and after care, Monday through Friday, 7 a.m. to 8:30 a.m. and 3 p.m. to 5:30. The coffee social on Wednesdays from 9:30 to 11:30. Track is Tuesdays and Fridays. This was our final week, and we had our last track meet at Old Orchard Beach. T-ball practice on Wednesday nights and a game against Hollis on Saturday morning. Pickleball is open on Tuesdays and Fridays. Old Town Hall uses, Scouts use it on Tuesday nights and Girl Scouts on Wednesday night. Programs, there are no programs with open registrations at this time. and I can't believe we're saying this, but we're almost into July. So the 4th of July events are as follows. Fireworks on Wednesday, July 3rd at the Mill Pond at dusk. The rain date will be July 5th, and there will be several food trucks on site at the Mill Pond. The 4th of July parade on Thursday the 4th at 10 a.m. from the Old Town Hall to Blake Memorial Field. The theme for the parade is Christmas in July. So put your car, business vehicle, tractor, animals, or float in the parade. Awards for the parade and food trucks and vendors at Blake Memorial after the parade. So not much time, folks, just get gearing up for that. The parade is always a wonderful, wonderful event that the town puts on. The Momodeo Beach is open for the season daily from 9 to 6, $10 per vehicle, $50 resident season passes, and $60 for non-resident season passes, and pavilion rentals are available at the entry booth. Please follow the 15-mile-an-hour speed limit down to the beach. And they are considering starting an adult softball team or teams for pickup games and or a league with neighboring towns. So if you're interested in being involved in this, please reach out to Madison Moody, our Parks and Rec Director.
Thank you, Tammy. Jason, would you like to run us through the Limington Fire and EMS Department?
Sure. Let me see here. Status, total number of calls, 49. EMS calls, 40. Fire calls, 8. And fire and EMS calls, 1. Calls covered by only mutual aid was 1. Backup calls, 1. Any significant calls or operations? May 13th, they did their annual hose testing, hose, nozzle, and ladder testing. The 29th and the 29th, the second grade class from HB Emory came to visit. This is an annual event and is always a good time for staff and students. Significant training accomplishments. Rich Patanod, a full-time member, is officially licensed as a paramedic. So congrats to Rich. He will need some time in the field training, but can legally provide care at that level. David Salazar will take his final test in June for his advanced level EMT. So they're getting a lot done. New hires, they have onboarded 1 new person. They've also received 2 applications this month. One is a medic and one is an EMT basic. No one's left. They could use more call members and a few more per diem providers. Let me see, leadership. They still have a vacant captain's position. Significant. The EMS director continues to be out on disability. We wish Dawn the best. Hope everything is going well for her. Let me see, apparatus maintenance conducted the public works, worked on unit 10, which was a brakes and oil change. Engine 6 tried to repair the water leak again, did fix the radiator. Ambulance 2 had an AC leak, work with Oster was done by the dealer. Ambulance 1 swapped tires for the season. So, annual hose and ladders testing was the 13th. All ladders and nozzles passed, but they did lose 2 lengths of 1 3/4 hose. Annual flow testing of the SCBA's is scheduled in June. Let me see here. One set of turnout gear is on order for Corinne Meehan. He's a full-time employee and gave a lot of time outside of his normal work schedule. His turnout gear is compliant, but is not measured to fit him. So the new gear was custom-made for his measurements. No significant trainings in May, but they did hold a few station nights to clean up Central Station. They will continue these nights as both Coventry and Village stations. In June, there are several trainings planned, both in-house and at other locations. And that's direct from Emil Braley, the chief.
Excellent. Thank you, Jason. Informational bulletin. Want to speak a little bit on the reval for the town. Back at the end of 2022, the state came forward and told the town of Limington that our property values were set too low. If they dip below 70% of what the state has them at, then the town loses revenue sharing from the state. So the town was forced to do an emergency reeval where we unfortunately didn't have it in the budget to do an actual reeval, so we bumped all the values of everyone's property up. I believe it was 50% for
Property.
property and 100% for houses. With that said, the town, the select board is looking to get a true reevaluation done. We've had 2 entities come forward and put forward proposals for a reevaluation. The select board unfortunately has been busy with other things, so this has fallen behind a little bit. But the select board will be informing the public as to the 2 proposals that have come forth, and we will be moving forward shortly after we've informed the public as best we can. Jason, would you like to give us a little bit of information on the fire engine situation?
Yes, so as in the town, our engine 6 that just had the tank repaired and the radiator fixed by Sean at the Public Works. The truck is scheduled tentatively to be replaced in 2029. That fire truck, I don't think is gonna make 2029, let alone, usually 2 or 3 years after is when the final replacement is. So Emil has done some research and has found a replacement truck, which would be at Buxton. They just got a brand new engine, and the only reason why this came out of service is because they don't need it. So we've had it inspected by Sean and also Kevin Warren. They've gone and looked at it. It's a nice piece. It's a crew cab. It can now house everybody internally inside it. It's for the price that we can bid on it is a steal. In the coming weeks here, we want to have a public hearing just to inform everybody on the possibility. Our current engine 6 could possibly be moved to Public Works because they have to have another chassis for the voted last year. They allowed 2 trucks. He's still missing 1 chassis. So we tentatively could kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone here and get the Public Works truck that we need to finish with the dump and body and plow truck, and also end up with a, I think it's 8-year newer and significantly better engine truck that would definitely make the 2029 replacement easily. So, but this is something we're investigating. Just want to give the public a heads up on where we're at, what we're trying to do. There's really no money out of the town's folks. This is all, they allotted money to buy this truck through Public Works, and basically Public Works would be buying our engine, which the tank would have to come off anyways, which is good because the tank is about at the end of its life. So that's where we're at with the fire truck. We're talking, it's a $15,000 or $16,000 purchase, which is, we're talking a legitimately $50,000, $60,000 fire truck. So it's once again, it's I think it's a win-win, but we got a little bit more to discuss with Public Works and Emil to finalize anything that we would want to do going forward. So
when the board is ready, we will have a public hearing, and we will notify the public of that hearing with due notice.
yeah.
A reminder that this Tuesday, June 11th, the town will be voting on ordinances for the planning board. Also on that ballot is a question of whether or not the town would like to buy the Limington Academy gym. Unfortunately, we got the wording wrong with that proposal, so we're asking the public to vote no on that, and we will attempt a vote with the proper wording come November. So thank you for your patience with this particular situation, and please come out to vote on June 11th.
That was the payment plan.
Yeah.
Was kind of a little bit mixed up. At first, the gym trustees thought that it was going to be $9,000 for 5 years, and we put it in the ballot as $5,000 for 9 years. So it's the same amount of money, but it's just the payment plan got a little messy, so.
It did, and we do apologize.
Yeah.
We will exercise our due diligence in making sure that this sort of thing does not happen moving forward.
Yeah, we plan to put that back on the ballot in November.
Yes.
Yeah.
Give us time to get the wording right and the ballot question right as well.
Tammy, would you like to finish off the informational bulletin for us?
Sure. Could I just mention a couple of things first?
Please do.
Public Works has put out paving bids.
Yes.
And we'll be opening those next Thursday night. So just to have that out there, there's going to be several roads that probably we'll be mentioning that we'll be getting paving when the bids are all opened and the schedule is set for that. So we'll be opening those next week. And just to touch on, last week, we talked about another rabid animal found in Limington, which is the second one this year. So just another push to get your animals, your cats and dogs, their rabies shots. Just because if they're outside and they come encounter with a rabid animal, that's never a good thing. So just a kind of a plug to get rabies shots for everybody. So, yes, back to this, I'm sorry, Mike.
No, thank you, Tammy.
Select Board office hours are Thursday from 2 to 8. The on-air meeting time is Thursdays at 7, like right now. The transfer station hours are Saturday and Sunday from 9 to 4, Wednesday noon to 4. And everyone knows that you need a sticker attached to your vehicle windshield to be able to go in and utilize the transfer station unless you're using the swap shop. General Assistance Office, the applications are available anytime from the town's clerk office during their normal business hours. Applications must be filled out and accompanied with supporting documentation and must be signed. The Planning Board meets at the Municipal Complex the first and third Monday evenings at 7. And like we mentioned in the Parks and Rec update, the Cards and Coffee is at the Old Town Hall every Wednesday from 9:30 to 11:30. So that's always a great time. I like seeing the pictures of the people that come and participate in that.
Just to circle back with the paving bids, anybody that wants to submit a paving bid, the info is on our town's website. You can go to Limington, the town website. You can download the file right there, and then it'll give you everything you need. So anybody that's small companies that want to try and put a bid in, it's welcome.
Yes. Thank you both. With that said, we will go ahead and open the meeting to the public.
Yes, hi, I have just a couple questions about...
State your name for the record, I'm
Steve
sorry.
Young, River Road.
Thank you.
With this reevaluation, do you have a sense yet, a ballpark number for what that's going to cost the town? And is that, will that come out of the regular operating budget or capital improvement funds? Do you have a sense of that yet?
Thank you, Steve. So it looks like both the offers that we have received are, and I can't give you the actual figure, I don't have it in front of me. It is somewhere between 225 and 250,000 is right around where both companies have put their proposal. As far as where that money would come from, I'm not sure. I don't think any of the board has considered that yet. Something I didn't mention earlier is that it's been quite a long time since the town has done a reevaluation. It's been over a decade. It might even be closer to 2 decades. So this is a new process for us. Off the top of my head, it doesn't seem like a capital improvement sort of thing. So it will probably be worked into the operational budget for next year.
Yeah.
Any other questions from the public? Seeing none, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I will second
We
that.
have a motion and a second. All those in favor? We are adjourned at 7:25 PM. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week.